Welcome to the episode of season 15. This is Middle Ground with JLE, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, JLE Experience. On music, copyright, don't mute nothing. Have an amazing guest for you today. Have a fellow Michigan native, morning anchor and reporter from WRBL News 3, Tiffany Maddox, MS. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you for sharing your story. So we're going to get started into it. First question, what led you to this path?
Wow, that is a interesting question. I think, my background and just the way that I grew up, I've always been a people person. Was actually made fun of as a child for having a radio voice. Um,
What?
yeah, was made fun of as a child for having like a radio voice. But actually, I wanted to be a dentist for many years. I would say up to my senior year of high school and going into college, I wanted to be a dentist. Um, and then realized how much, math and how much time all went into that, and decided to change my mind on that and look into some things that interest me. So I kind of said I like to be around people. I like to share stories. I kind of like to write. So
Mhm.
I decided to go this route.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am from was raised in Ypsilanti, born in Detroit, raised in Ypsi. And I've always been a dreamer, always been a person who is goal oriented. Around eighth grade, I decided that I wanted to go to the Detroit High School of Arts. So
Okay.
I convinced my parents to let me audition for dance, and I got accepted, and that totally changed my trajectory on a lot of things. Um, I also think that it helped me in this arena as I, got to have a diverse group of classmates and really
Hmm.
get to know people and, just vibe with different people. Um, but long story short, graduated, went to HBCU, but that didn't work out because of finances and the issues with finances at the school, and ended up back at Eastern Michigan University. So was a print journalism major and a TV and television minor.
Okay.
So yeah, and kind of dabbled in everything. I had um, public relations courses. I did an internship with Radio One. I was one of Mason's interns for like a year, and then did a internship with WDIV. Kind of trying to see what fit the best for me, and it was like this huge story during my internship at WDIV. I won't talk about the story, but it was a pretty big story because I don't want to date my age myself.
Yes,
But
because you're fabulous.
but the chaos in the newsroom with this breaking news that had happened, it was like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be in television news. So that's how that started. Yeah.
Okay. Now, of all the internships you've done, how do they prepare you for what you do now?
I think that like, public relations, radio, everything kind of comes together in some way, shape, or form. It all kind of is cohesive. But I
Okay.
think, of course, the TV internship was um, vital because it gave me a behind the scenes look at a day in the life of, a reporter, to make sure that that's something that I wanted to take on for sure. Of course, that, you know, things have changed since that internship, but there are
Hmm.
different types of reporters. You've got your reporter who has a photographer. So that's someone that basically, I ask the questions, the reporter shoots the video, but there are
Hmm.
also MMJs, multimedia journalists, who do everything. And I've had the opportunity to do both things. So um, I think that WDIV definitely opened my eyes to the behind the scenes to know that I really wanted to do that.
Okay. Now, what are responsibilities of a morning anchor?
So I will give you a snippet of my day. I'm going to tell you now. You can't see, but I'm exhausted. I get
Nah.
up at 2:15 a.m. Monday
Okay.
through Friday. I have to be at work at 3:30. I My co-anchor and I, we rotate radio hits. So next week I'll do my radio hits for the whole week, like top
Hmm.
stories for one of the local radio stations in the area. I read my
Okay.
scripts before 4:35 because our show is that we have a 5 o'clock hour and we have a 6 o'clock hour. So that's when I actually anchor the newscast for 2 hours. Um, After the show's over around 7, we record cut-ins that run during Good Morning America. We're a CBS affiliate, or CBS Mornings. We're a CBS
Okay.
affiliate, so our cut-ins will run in between commercial breaks. So it'll be like local stuff. And I typically here I'm not doing. I typically don't do day turns, so I don't do a same day story just because I'm off by noon. So typically, if I do have a story, either I am trying to schedule whatever I need to schedule
Hmm.
before I get off at noon, like interviews and things like that. And kind of during the week, I work on my story or, whatever I have going on. So it's definitely, it's not just reading off of a prompter. We also have a lot of, we have a producer, but we work with the producer to make
Hmm.
sure the show looks how we want it to look. And editorial judgment, making sure that the top story is the most important story. If there's breaking news,
Hmm.
we're putting that at the top of the show. You know, what do you think about me saying this way? No, let's change it this way. Things like that. So a lot of editing. So there's a process in everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was that thing that made you really get into journalism? Like, okay, I'm doing this.
I like to write. I like to speak for people who can't necessarily speak for themselves. And I like learning about different things. I feel like sometimes you'll hear people say journalists are the expert of all things. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm the expert at everything, but
Okay.
if I don't know, you know, whatever the topic of the story is, and I have to research it to ask questions, you kind of get a glimpse of different parts of life and different topics. So you have knowledge in some of those areas, or you could say, hey, I did a story about it, and So it's interesting, and it's not the same thing every day. I like that it's not the same monotonous thing every day going into the
Mhm.
office. So I like the hustle and bustle.
Now, I've checked you out a little bit, and y'all do great work.
Thank you.
Y'all bring a certain energy that some shows you don't see.
I
Like y'all
like
really.
to I like to I enjoy waking people up. My last job, I was actually in Flint, Michigan, and I was the weekend evening anchor in Flint. Different vibe, more of a serious, not serious, but there was times for me to be happy and to interact. But for the most part, that's
Mhm.
a different vibe, evenings. So definitely want to get back on the morning shows and show more personality and be more myself. And
Yeah, you
yeah,
jump through
so
the
it's a
screen.
it's a good vibe. Yeah, yeah.
Now watch like, okay. I know people like I'm watching them. They getting ready for work, whatever. Like they
Yeah,
seem like they'd be
exactly. You got to make
engaged.
people laugh. You got to wake them up, get them energized for their day. That's what I enjoy about mornings. It's an honor to be able to get people up and get them going to start their day in a positive way.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Now you definitely done a lot of stuff over the years.
I have, and it's funny that I have so much experience because I actually didn't jump into the business until after I started a family, which is part of part of my testimony. But I did graduate from college and was prepared to do all things. Got married before I graduated from college,
Hmm.
and decided after some failed attempts, some no's. decided that, I would just let my husband go move up in his career. And by the time you looked, I had like two, three kids, and it was like, okay. So kind of put myself on the back burner. And then 2018, it was kind of like, okay, I have to do what I want to do because I feel like that's part of my purpose. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Now, through everything you've done and experienced so far, is this where you envision you would be in your journey?
Yes, I when I decided that I wanted to be a broadcast journalist, I said that I want to be a morning anchor. Um, so, you start out MMJ and, you may get the weekend anchor. I got the weekend anchor gig, and that was a morning opportunity. And I had a co-anchor at that particular position, which was actually at the competition where I am now. So I worked for the competition for a long time. So I came back to a place that I actually like, the city.
Okay.
Yeah, so got a feel of having a morning opportunity that was at the number one station, and that gave me a lot of reach to the community. So I did a lot of things here in the community. So I knew that's what I wanted, but I also wanted to make a market jump, which is, you know, going to a bigger city, making more money.
Mm-hmm.
That's I wanted that, and went to Flint and really got my feet wet in Flint with a lot of hard news compared to what I was doing in the past, which was beneficial. I think Flint really helped me grow, but I knew that I wanted to go back to morning. So it at the end, that still prepared me for where I am now for sure. So now I'm in a full time Monday, Monday through Friday. I got
Mm-hmm.
children. That was also important to me to be off of weekends because the business itself is a beast. But
Yeah.
when you're a weekend warrior, you don't, it's like,
Yeah.
are you really married? I'm like, I am. My husband, I am. She's at work. Like she's visible. She's just at work. It's like, so I really didn't get that part. So that's the thing that we've been missing. So now it's like everything is kind of coming together to where I can, you
Awesome.
know, yeah. So
Now, is it
yeah.
competitive to get the morning anchor gig?
I think the industry is definitely changing. The scope of local news is changing. So right now, I think what it is I think it's competitive, but it's because there's not a lot of opportunities, just because of a lot of layoffs and a lot of things that are going on internally with all these different companies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's about talent. It's about opportunity for wherever you are. Someone may leave, someone may, have a spot that opens up. So it's just about being patient and getting your feet wet and learning all you can and taking from every opportunity that you get to pour into that next opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So we reached a point where you promote market what you have going on and coming up. Floor is yours.
Well, I don't necessarily have anything to market or promote. I just think that where I'm at, I try to take the opportunity to really, you know, talk to people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
I like to take opportunities to speak where I can speak and share, my story. Talk to the teenagers, talk to the older adults who may be at a point where they don't know how to get to where they want to get to. So
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's important for me to uplift. I'm interested in one day maybe starting a nonprofit that incorporates like dream building, dream chasing with arts in some aspect.
Okay.
I've danced all my life. So I've always wanted to incorporate something in that realm. And have started to think about just the coaching, like coaching people on how to best
Nice.
present themselves if they talk to media. I've talked to lots of
Oh,
people,
yeah. You
and
gotta watch it.
yeah. So I think that, with my experience and my expertise, that that's something that I can help people do as well, who want to even present themselves as a uh, influencer, or maybe a high school athlete who may have a lot of potential but just doesn't have the speaking part down. And I just feel like I can be of assistance to people in that way too. So yeah.
Okay. You ever thought
Yeah.
about writing a book?
What would I
My
write it
spidey
about?
sense is not wrong. I'm like, you're some fellow author you talking to, Jeff. Just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah,
It's
a
not
book.
wrong.
Okay, something to think about.
I, I can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
What has been your biggest challenge on your journey?
I think my biggest challenge has been basically, like I mentioned, I started my family and then decided to jump in full throttle into, taking a leap and going towards my dream. Although it was successful, it didn't necessarily have to be that way. It could be a totally different way, but you know, I was competing with younger college graduates,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just having a family. Any young person that's watching or listening, when you get out of high school and if you want to go to college, do it. If you can do it, then do it then. If you get out of college and you want to do A, B, and C, try to do it, as soon as you can, because once you start a family, that becomes, it's not the end all, but it just makes things harder. So for, I would say, the first 5 years of me working in the business, I was separate from my family. So I was in whatever market I was working in, and my family was in Florida. And luckily, I
Mm-hmm.
have a supportive spouse, who believed in me and believes in me, and believes that I'm talented enough to get to where I want to get to. He just had to trust the vision. I had this vision, and I, knew that I could make it work. And I just had to work my butt to get there. So a lot of prayer, a lot of tears, a lot of doubt, but you know,
The whole
faith and
spectrum.
talent supersede. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's worked out. So I'm just blessed for that.
Now, we live in a climate now where people feel you can't come across the one you can build a life with and achieve your goals as a purpose as well. What do you think about that?
You talking about like a spouse or a significant
Yeah, like
other? Or, okay.
yes, like I feel you can't
Um,
do both nowadays. You got to pick career over family type stuff.
I always say, pray for husbands whose wives are super ambitious, because they not okay. I know my husband think I'm crazy. We just
What the world?
he does. We just celebrated 20 years
Oh, that's
on the
beautiful.
first. We still there. Luckily, we still there. Um, so
Let me
it,
applause for that.
I think that it's definitely attainable, but at the same time, I'm a person that believes that I can have it all.
Okay.
And I believe that, and I feel like I'm getting to that point where I do. Um, but it's just about that person. Is that person super supportive? Is that person
Okay.
willing to be in the trenches with you? Like that's ultimately what it is. You have to have someone who has the same faith as you, who just was gonna get down and dirty with you, and
See.
fight through to make it to the other side, make it to the goal. Like, so he does think I'm crazy. And he does roll his eyes when I say I was thinking about this. But
Oh man.
I come from a group of women, especially my siblings, my sisters. They're go getters. They have an idea, and they're creative, and so I just
Hmm.
follow suit. This is my way of being talented,
Hmm.
and showing that I am capable of having all things. I have a family. At best, I won't lie. I've had a lot of judgment against me as a mother, especially for you know, leaving my kids or whatever. But at the end of the day, my kids have no excuse to not go for anything that they want in life because they've seen their mom be a stay-at-home mom, work in healthcare, and then all of a sudden now I'm a news anchor and reporter. So they have no excuse not to go for any goals or dreams that they have. Period.
How was that experience working in healthcare?
I worked in healthcare in college, and it was always a job that I knew I can get. Working
Okay.
the desk, taking doctor's orders, checking patients in and out, insurance, all that stuff. Like I know that's always something that I can fall back on. Like I can do that with my eyes closed. So,
Okay.
yeah. At the same time, talking to people, learning about people's stories, and it's also been a great interaction with and experience with interviewing people. So I feel like everything that um, I've encountered in terms of school, jobs, not working in news, it's all helped me where I am.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, in your words, what has been your impact in the community?
Tiffy is the brand, right? Tiffy is it's me, of course, but it's truly people seeing me just be myself. When I'm on air, people, like I said, I was made fun of for having this voice, but now I'm using it for good. And there's some people that have that news voice and they can switch it and be whoever. This is just me. When I came to Columbus, where I am, Georgia, the first time, prior to that, I think I spent a lot of time not really trying to be someone else
Mm-hmm.
as a news reporter. Um, but when I came here the first time is really when one I'm around a lot of my people, but still it's been a mixed love from everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
they like that I resonate with a lot of people. So just me being myself, I really learned how to be myself here for sure. I'm just Tiffy. I tell the news. I can laugh with you. I can tell the saddest story. But at the end of the day, I'm just totally being myself. And I think that's so important to be authentic, especially in this industry.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because if you're not, people can tell.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And we
So I
got some
think
on
that,
social media now.
yeah. So I think authenticity is super important. And I think that has really helped me make an impact here where I am and beyond. I'm still getting people from Flint like, how, why are you gone? I'm like, I'm sorry. But you stick with people when you're authentic and people remember you.
Mm-hmm.
People want to, they when you come to them with, can I speak to you about so and so, they're willing to do so. And a lot of
Okay.
organizations are, they reach out. So you know, um, I have emceed at an autism event, autism walk, since I've been here. And it's
Mm.
only been 6 months since I've been here. Tomorrow I'm doing something. Um,
Okay.
what else? Reading to the babies, like, just really showing up in
Nice.
the community. I go to the same, when they see me at the grocery store, they say, "Hey, Tiffany," and I say, "What's up?" You don't see no makeup on today, but this is what you getting, y'all. So hey,
It's all right.
so it's all up.
I hope I made you feel comfortable. Get this Yoda
Yeah,
game out you. What advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
I think that you know your purpose is God given. I mean, I feel like it's God given, but it takes a lot of searching to find that. And sometimes it's not really about finding it; it's about it just falling in your lap. Some people don't realize their talents and their
Mm-hmm.
abilities, um, and how they can use them. And I think that, if you ever just have it, with that, I just say, if you ever have an interest in something, just try it. Like, don't be afraid to try it. I mean, I'm not artistic in terms of art. Like, I feel like that's one of my sister's things, but, if I want to try it, I'll try it just because you never know. It can be something that you're actually good at and that can really help you help
That is
someone
true.
else. Hmm. Hmm.
You want to know
So
unless you
I would
try.
just say try, I would just say try all things, learn all things, whatever you want to learn about it, and see how you can incorporate that, into your life or to helping others. I feel like if it's helping someone else, if it can help someone else, then
Mm-hmm.
that's purpose.
That's great
Yeah.
advice.
Hmm.
I never expected to be doing this. I only had that one semester of journalism at Cooley. I'm like, I don't know about interviewing nobody. I ain't trying to do nothing. My dad was a pastor. I ain't trying to do nothing like that, man. Gone. And my foolish butt didn't realize this is ministry. God got me.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm like my daddy then. But
No.
this your first time being interviewed, or you've been interviewed many times before?
Typically I'm not on the other side of the camera. I have done some
Really?
quick interviews, but when it comes to just sharing about your story, I feel like that's a easier ask than talking about like, you know, money or what I'm saying, like things that I don't know nothing, because I'd be like, I don't know.
Got you.
So, when it comes to just sharing your story, it's that's an easy ask.
Now,
And trying to inspire someone else.
Did I meet the tagline where you felt comfortable to share your story?
Absolutely.
Nice. I look forward to that book. Come back. Anything you might have coming up, you're welcome to come back and talk about it. See great things you're going to be doing. And just looking at your LinkedIn, like, wowzers. She been grinding.
Yeah.
She got there though. When she got out the
I
book,
did.
she
Even
was
I
here.
even got the masters during the pandemic. I finished during the pandemic.
You too.
Yeah, I did. I didn't get a chance to walk across the stage, so I'm actually thinking about going and get a second master's. No, but I am. I'm thinking about getting an MBA, but we'll see.
Okay.
My husband,
They
if you're
walked
watching, he
us.
just heard that idea.
They walked us in 22,
Okay.
20 and 21 class. It was nice, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I couldn't have a party, couldn't have a dom flowing, just it's my turn, baby, let's go. Like, yeah, I graduated in 2020. It's nice. I'm smart now. I could talk trash, put my nose up in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the rest of the weekend is amazing. I want to thank morning anchor and reporter for WRBL News 3, Tiffany Maddox, MS, because you earned it. You got to put that out there. Let them know. You got the numbers, got to let them know. For sharing the story. If you want to get into the journalism field or become an anchor, she grind, and she did it. You could do it.
Yeah. And if anybody ever wants to, ask questions or reach out, you can just follow me or find me. I'm typically Tiffy Maddox TV on all social platforms. So
yeah, I didn't know that little. She got her own little. Okay, got a moniker. Look at her. She's styling on these streets.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoyed the weekend. Be safe. And I got one more show that's tomorrow, but I'm chilling after this. Replay sports. I need some me time. Hope you and your family enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. You as well.
Continue to tune in with you. And hope
all right.
All right.
Take care.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to purchase my latest products, my books and music, go to Amazon.com. I have new merchandise on the way. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Middle Ground with L.L.C Network. Thanks for coming. Detroit, welcome to the D, baby. 313